Let's explore some more ways to customize the table layout. But before I get to that, let me ask you a question. Do you know what's in a caterpillar row? I'm not sure either, so let's add an extra column for the description for the sushi rolls. Here you can see that I've added an extra column in the second table row for the kappa roll description and also the description for the caterpillar row in the third table row. This is the result. Looks like the caterpillar roll has many ingredients in it. In fact, I ran out of space to describe it. Let me flip the screen and see how it looks like on the landscape layout. On landscape, I can see that the caterpillar roll contains eel, cucumber, and avocado with Tobigo on top, and I can also see the price. But what if I want to see the same information on a portrait orientation when the width of the screen is smaller? We can ask Android to shrink the columns. Here, I have set the shrink column attribute to be star, meaning that I want Android to shrink all the columns so that they will fit on the screen. I don't really like the result because the price is chopped and is a little bit strange looking. So instead of giving star as the value for shrink columns, I can tell Android that just shrink column 2, meaning the third column with the description. And the rest of the columns takes as much width as it needs. It looks okay, except that the description for caterpillar roll has 2 lines, but the name only has 1 line, so the table alignment looks a little bit off. What we can do is set the height of the text view to be match parent instead of taking the default of wrap content. In that case, the text view for caterpillar roll, the name, will be as tall as the description. We can apply layout height match parent to all the text views, and the result will look like this. Looks pretty good, right? Let's take a look on landscape. Still looks great. But it looks like we have left a lot of white space to the right-hand side. We may as well use all of it. My table layout right now takes layout with wrap content. Let me change it to match parent so it takes up the whole width. Hey, nothing happened. Can you figure out why? Turns out the width of a table layout is the sum of all its columns, and the width of each column is determined by the row that has the widest view. So saying match parent alone is not going to make the table take up the whole width of the screen. We need the attribute stretch column to expand the columns to take up more width. Here, I have set stretch column to be 2, meaning that I want the third column, the description column, to expand when there is more space. You can see that now the table takes up the whole width of the screen. But this makes the name and the price look very cramped. Let's give them some extra space as well. Here, I have changed the value of stretch columns to star. What this means is that Android will take all the extra width and distribute it equally among all the columns. So you can see that the first column with the numbers, the second column with the name, the third column with the description, and the fourth column with the price all get some extra width at the end. When we apply stretch column like that, even when columns are skipped and spanned, it still respects all the extra spacing. The final attribute for table layout I want to describe is collapse columns. Here, I have used collapse column equals 3 to hide the price column. Let's see how it looks like on a landscape orientation. This is the result for collapse column when we change the orientation to be landscape. As you can see, there are some white space at the end of the table. If I instead remove the price column completely, instead of asking Android to collapse it, there is no white space. What's going on? If I say collapse column equals 3, It means that the view for column 3 is set to visibility equal gone. If it's visibility equal gone, why it looks like it's still taking space? This has something to do with the fact that we set stretch columns equal star. What that tells Android to do is that when we have remaining space, distribute it equally among all the columns. So Android was giving some extra space to column 3, even though it's hidden. So what if I want to collapse column 3 and also take away the extra space? Instead of saying stretch column equals star, we can specifically tell Android to stretch column 0, 1, and 2. In this case, the extra space will be equally distributed among the visible columns, so we don't have the white space at the end of the table. In summary, I have shown you how to use table layout to have aligned columns, how to specify spanning and skipping of the columns, and also how to shrink, stretch, and collapse columns so you can customize your table layout.